Race fans, welcome to episode number 9 of the Look Ahead for the Empire Super Sprints presented by Marathon Petroleum. Marathon knows the fans are the true co-pilot of any team. That's why Marathon is here to keep you and your team fueled, because we're driven together. So in this edition of the Look Ahead, we're going to first look back to the Utica-Rome Speedway and last weekend's Cold Cup. And then we'll look ahead to this weekend's action as we invade Quebec at Autodrome Granby and Autodrome Drummond. Saturday night, it was wild and crazy at the Utica-Rome Speedway. Track conditions were probably not what anyone had expected. Normally when you go to Utica-Rome Speedway, you expect it shiny, slick from the bottom all the way to the top. And with Mother Nature and the track crew doing some things a little bit different on Saturday. Drivers told me it was more like being at an event in Indiana with the curb that we had on the top of the speedway. So a couple of curveballs there, but drivers handled it well, and we had a great night of racing action. When all was said and done, Billy V, second win, Billy Van Inwagen of the season, driving for Paul Colagiovanni, $5,000 to the good for Van Inwagen. Started 7th on the grid, made his way up through, and had a little help along the way, and had some help at the end as well, as Danny Varon led the race to about lap 19. Unfortunately, Varon ran out of fuel, had to head to the pit area, put fuel in the car, and rejoin at the tail of the field. And then Van Inwagen, spitting, sputtering, coming off of turn 4, got the job done for the win. Davey Franick comes home in the 2 spot after starting 11th. Jordan Poirier charges from 14th to 3rd in the final rundown. Matt Farnham, nose wingless, still got a top 5 finish, finishing 4th after starting on the pole. And Jordan Thomas rounded out the top 5. Sammy Reeks, Sean Donath, Jonathan Preston, Danny Varon, as we said, came from the rear. He got back to 9th, and Kelly Hebing completing the top 10. Looking at the point standings here for the Empire Super Sprints, no change at the top. Jordan Poirier continues to be the point leader. He has a 17-point advantage, so Davey Frenick took a couple of points off of that one. It's 1440 to 1423. Jason Barney still third at 1332. Matt Tanner, 1281, and Billy Van Inwagen rounds off the top 5 at 1261. Danny Varon, Sean Donath, Jordan Thomas, Kelly Hebing, and Jonathan Preston complete the rest of the top 10. So there's a look back at Utica-Rome. Now, let's look ahead to Granby and Drummond, but before we do that, I was able to get a copy of a video from 2014. Former Scone Series champion and part-time Empire Super Sprint campaigner Chris Donnelly had an in-car camera and his car at Granby. So let's take a look at that and see what it's like to take some laps around Autodrome Granby.
Wherever you're headed, Marathon is there because we're driven together. you're headed, Marathon is there because we're driven together.
There you had a pretty cool view there of Autodrome Granby as we took some laps there with Chris Donnelly. Chris, big thank you to you for allowing me to download that video and put it into our look ahead. Again, giving the fans and everybody that watches these a little insight what it's like to turn some laps around the fast half mile at Granby. So Friday night we are at Autodrome Granby, and the Empire Super Sprints have competed there 52 times in the past. There have been 25 different winners, and if this is a shocker, Steve Poirier, the all-time winningest driver at Autodrome Granby. He has 9 career victories. Last year, we ran the event in late August. It was Jeff Cook picking up the victory after a 4-year hiatus for us from Autodrome Granby. And may go down as Jeff Cook's last victory. You know, he says he's done, but Jeff, I have faith, man. Come on. You can do it a couple more times. I swear it's fun. I promise you. So we'll see if that ever happens. But series regulars with victories at Autodrome Granby include Billy Van Inwagen back in 2019, and then Sean Donoff dating way back to 2011. Obviously, a handful of drivers in there, most notably Steve Poirier, grabbing victories in those years in between. Then Saturday, we shift back to Autodrome Drummond. We have had 40 events. We've run 40 events, and 23 different drivers have graced victory lane. 3 drivers are tied with 5 wins apiece, and it is a literal who's who of the history of the Empire Super Sprints, as it's Mike Woodring, Steve Poirier, and Elaine Bergeron. Those 3 drivers tied with 5 apiece. So yeah, those are some pretty big names in the history of the Empire Super Sprints. Last season's event was won by Matt Tanner, so he'll be looking to double up here, go back to victory lane on Saturday. Other series regulars with a win goes back to Jason Barney in 2017. Both of these events on Friday and Saturday will include modifieds as well. So if you're a race fan and never had an opportunity or never been to Quebec, got all your paperwork in line, I recommend it. I know you've watched, the Super Dirt Car Series and the Short Track Super Series visits up there. The fans are spectacular. They're fantastic. The atmosphere at these 2 places will be second to none. So if you haven't gone and are looking for something to do this weekend, you got your passport, got all that in line, or your enhanced license, I tell you, take a trip. You will not regret making the trip to Autodrome Granby and Drummond. Well, that'll wrap up this edition of the Look Ahead here for the Empire Super Sprints presented by Marathon Petroleum. Again, Marathon is proud to fuel drivers and their co-pilots because we're driven together. For more information about the Empire Super Sprints, again, find us on the web, empiresupersprints.com, Facebook Empire Super Sprints, YouTube Empire Super Sprints, all right, Instagram on X at ES Sprints, ES Sprints, again, on X. So for all of us here at the Empire Super Sprints, my name's Mike Mallet. Thanks for watching, and hey, maybe we'll see you this weekend at Autodrome Granby and Drummond.